like everyone's on the same page sort of thing. And why would you want to give that up, really? So I'm not too sure, really. He'd have to draw his own conclusions, man. But yeah, with that being said, let's start previewing Arsenal PSV. Let's get this out the way now. As you know, people, well, as you don't know, but I've set not that they listen to me, but I've set Arsenal a challenge. You need 4 to 6 points from this group, from these next 2 games. PSV's the decider, really. PSV are in good form. They're scoring good goals. Typical World Cup year. Cody Gakpo speaking today about, I spoke with Ten Hag. Then I had an opportunity to go to Southampton or Leeds. He's playing quite well going into the World Cup, and he's someone that will probably move on from PSV after this campaign. So these are the games where the world's going to be watching. And I think we all have seen for a number of years still young Xavi Simons. He's taken to life at PSV like no one's business. They've got Sangare, they've got Till, they've got a couple other decent sort of players. PSV, I mean, they're Dutch, innit? You expect them to be a good side. Unfortunately, they've got Ruud van Nistelrooy, really and truly. So he's going to want to do it for his United brethren. Obviously, whether we finish first or second in the Europa League group has serious ramifications, because you can skip out a game, and obviously a caliber of opposition. Barcelona could drop down. There's still a lot of decent teams still in the Champions League that could potentially drop down and things like that. So we need to win. It's a massive test on the boys, on a fragile squad in terms of depth. The games are coming thick and fast, but this is the reality. This is a must win. There has to be somewhat slight rotation. You'd probably see Turner in goal and things. I wouldn't begrudge Arteta if he went strong and then strong again on the weekend, because, as I said, this is the territory we've got to get into. If we get into the Champions League, we've got to be able to deal with games on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, have squad depth to cope with it. But yeah, man, again, I think PSV come into this actually winning 6-1. They score goals. They have been scoring goals. This is the group decider. There's every reason for both teams to be confident, people. They've played 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, coming into this game as well, people. What is this? Oh, here we are. Sharing my Google sheet with you lot, notes and that, people. Obviously, when you look at their last 2 games, people, they've played a 4-2-3-1, and they've also played 4-3-3. So this is what you expect from a Dutch side per se. In terms of the lineup, I'm tempted to go with Ramsdale just because, you've got one of the most informed players in Europe right now in Gakpo. Turner deserves to start, and I wouldn't begrudge him. And whether he starts or not, if he does start, or whether Ramsdale starts or not, we should have enough to get something out of the game. But if I'm honest with you, I would like to go Ramsdale, Tomiyasu. I would actually like to name the strongest team potentially, because if you name the strongest team, you win the game, you pull these guys off. So, if we get 3 points from this, it's basically done in terms of the group. We've done it. We play them at their place. Then you could probably have a bit more rotation, really. Both teams are through, really. So it all depends, really. Again, fitness levels. I would like to name the strongest team possible. And I think Arteta will name a stronger team than many of us expect. But if we could, Turner / Ramsdale. I've gone Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Odegaard, and Fabio Vieira. I'd probably not elect for Lokonga if I'm honest with you, but I understand if Partey gets the day off. I would like to go with Martinelli, but he looked good. He was good in our last Premier League game against Leeds, but he is looking a bit gassed out. And for me, when he came off the bench against Clint, he looked a bit gassed out. I know him and Xhaka are probably our 2 most durable players in the team. Xhaka could play, to be fair with you. It could probably be Xhaka, Odegaard, and Fabio Vieira, but even Xhaka has looked leggy at times, really. So I'd probably go Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira / Xhaka, where Partey is concerned. One of the 2 has to play. Saka, Eddie, and Nketiah. And I would say Martinelli, but Reece Nelson, give him another opportunity to see what he can bring to the table, innit, really? Against, there should be a bit for it, because you was on loan at Feyenoord. I don't know where they smash the like button, people. I don't see where they're at in terms of rivals. But this should be you, innit? If anyone should be up for this game, it should be you playing a team that's a Dutch rival based on last year. So it is what it is, people. They come into this in decent form, really. They won 4-3 against Feyenoord in September. They lost 3-0 to Camborne. Not quite sure what happened there. As expected, they beat Zurich 5-1 against Hermaveen. They won 1-0. Zurich, they've hit 10 goals. They beat them 10-1 on aggregate. They won 5-0 in the reverse leg at their place. Obviously, they warmed up for this game in terrific fashion, because they won 6-1 against Utrecht. So they score goals. They play good football. They're probably one of the most informed teams in Europe. I'd say the most informed team probably be, for me, Napoli at the moment. So we'll have to see. Again, they're second in Holland, and with 1 loss in 5 games. They're also second in this group. They're going to want to top that. They've got ex-United Ruud van Nistelrooy. Xavi Simons looks a baller. Gakpo's getting all the plaudits. It's a tough month coming to an end for us, but it's not done. Can we finish it strongly? Players look physically tired, so you're going to have to probably see some rotation. So, yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards, people. Statistically, PSV have scored 19 goals from corner kick situations this year, 2022. That's one more than they scored in 2020 and 2021 combined. So set piece FC meet set piece FC. We're going to have to be on job, and that's something we're going to be wary on, have to be wary on. But you can imagine they've been briefed on that. Cody Gakpo has been involved in 16 goals this Eredivisie season, 7 assists and 9 goals, and is the first player to record 16 plus goals and assists in his first 10 games of a single Eredivisie campaign since his gaffer Ruud van Nistelrooy in 99-2000, where he got 8 goals and 18 assists. What banter and rivalry aside, it could be a lot worse. You're learning how to score goals in that from Ruud van Nistelrooy and things like that. So we're going to have to be careful. Xavi Simons, the ex-Barcelona and PSG man's found the home at PSV now. At 19 years of age and 178 days, he has scored 8 goals in his first 10 Eredivisie games. The only youngster with at least 8 goals in his first 10 Eredivisie games is Willy van der Kudgen, who was 17. So these are things to be wary of, really. And again, they're scoring goals really and truly. Between these two players, Xavi Simons got 8 goals, 3 assists. Gakpo's got 9 goals and 7 assists. Smash the like button, people. So again, to say we have to be wary of this is an understatement, people. It is really much an understatement. But there's no easy games in Europe beyond the obvious. So we're going to have to stand up to be counted, really and truly. So there isn't too much more to say on that. Someone needs to take Reece Nelson's keys and change the lock. It's finished, mate. Move on. That's not nice. Felix, just another Jesus and Ketia type. We need different. Good day, DG. I think the player we should be watching against PSV should be Sangare. We can watch them all, as I said, man. Got to watch out for Till on set pieces. As I said, they've got Till, they've got Simmons, they've got Sangare. They've got decent players that probably will move on and things like that. PSV have been scoring decent amount of goals. Xavi and Gakpo are my guys, man. I mean, he is looking a bit less Bandulu. I said my lineup already. So, yeah, man, we'll have to see what's going on in that regards. Eddie will be missed, maybe. But, yeah, that's how I would be thinking going into the PSV game. Shout out to the Arsenal women's team because they kick off their Champions League campaign today against Lyon, I believe. So, hopefully, we get off to a win there, man, where everything's concerned. And shout out to our under-21s. After this video, probably like 3 o'clock, I'll drop my post-game thoughts on Arsenal's 3-1 victory against Northampton Town. Ethan came off the bench. Miles came off the bench. Koja Juby scored. Nathan scored a fantastic finish. So, yeah, standard procedures where them guys are concerned, people. So, it is what it is, people. So, yeah, man. What else are you lot saying? I'll be real. We can get at their defense and midfield. Well, we should be. The form we're in, we should be believing we can score goals and most importantly win the game. As I said, if you can get 4 to 6 points from these next 2 games, it's dreamland really, and it's an important end of the season, end of the month. Sorry, people of October. Southampton's form's on the floor. No wins in 5, but St Mary's for us is a bit of a bogey team. We're going to have to do well. Nottingham Forest probably have to do that in an ideal world without Saliba and Jesus. If they take their suspensions, need to get that done. We've got Chelsea early in November and we've got 2 big games against PSV. So everything to play for, really. Nothing's been achieved yet. We've started well. We're doing everything. Our 2 flattest performances of the season have probably been, Glint in midweek last week and obviously Leeds, and we still won. So we're going to have to grind out results. It's going to be a tough one. Really, this is a rescheduled game as well, obviously, because the last one had to get clipped. So we're gonna have to stand up to be counted, really and truly, man. We're going to have to. There's no excuses, really. Whatever set of 11 starts the game, make sure the game's finished before any sub comes on. It's as simple as that for me. Is what I would be saying. If we do, we secure first place. Amen. What's good, man's there at the carpet tomorrow. Safe travels there, man. Bless up for the best content on YouTube, my guy. You're way too kind. I don't know if I'm worthy of such a claim, but I appreciate that, man. Blessings, K. When teams play us, form means little. Just look at Leeds. Form means little. It should give us confidence going into games because we're playing quite well, but we can't just rest on our laurels. And Mikel Arteta and the players keep banging that drum. We need to be top of all groups, EPL and Europa before the World Cup. That would be good, really. If we can get 10 to 12 points from our next games where the Premier League's concerned, going into the World Cup, or better yet, the pause of the Premier League, puts us in good stead, don't it? Puts us in very good stead. But you're right, man. We saying it's been a while. Why ain't you been here, mate? Why ain't you been here, mate? Where you been? Seems to be like Tottenham and United will be the most boring game of the season, probably. But I'm gonna be here to watch it with you lot, man. Appreciate you lot on Twitch. What's good, Zims and B? Man said DG would do a madness. You would get all the saucy ballers. I mean, the carpet's a lovely pitch. I was at the Palace game last night. Eze's a baller. I mean, all of them are ballers. Eze was sourcing. Zaha was turning on the style. Elise did okay, and man to a man. They bust case from a booky little penalty shout with Mark Gurhey. Wolves, I don't know. I was only watching the second half of that game purely because we've got Wolves to come next month away from home. And they'll probably have a new gaffer, so probably look a lot different by the time we play them. But, nice to see Patrick Vieira. If I don't support any other Premier League team, but as long as Vieira's at Palace, we're rooting for you. We've got a link up on the best of days. So shout out to them. That was a good finish. It was good build-up play for the Zaha goal, man. When Zaha turns it on, he's a baller. Like, there was one incident, and you was at the game, so you must know. Like 3-4 Wolves players tried to get the ball off him, and he's just doing skillers around them all, man. It's crazy. Pardon me. First half, Palace dominated, but got caught on a counter. There you have it. Shout out. See, good morning, guys. Make sure you're coming in and hitting the like button. Amen. Tell them again. So, yeah, man. It is what it is. So, yeah, in relation to PSV, that's all they've got to say. All I've got to say, win the game. Nothing else matters. Or if you can't win, don't lose. I'd want to win at home because away from home could be techie. But, yeah, and crucially, top spot. The top spot is all that matters in the Europa League, really. I don't listen, any European competition, whether it's the Conference League now, the UEFA Cup or Europa League or the Champs, or even the FA Cup in the domestic campaign, you've got to expect to want to play the best teams in it. So whoever we play, bring it on in it, really and truly. But the quicker you can avoid them, the quicker they can run the risk of maybe getting eliminated or being eliminated by someone else. Why not? And again, we've already got a congested fixture calendar list anyways, and unprecedented times with the Premier League post-World Cup. Why invent? And you can see the physical test it's having on our players to a degree, despite winning. Why make it harder? Easy, win the game, win the 2 games, you finish top, confirm top. You probably have a day off under Mikel Arteta. If not, there's an extra game week unnecessarily against a top team. And Europa League, where I want to see us get to the final, of course, could be shunned. Don't make it harder